Good evening, my stamping friends. This is Leslie from Love, Ink, and Paper, and you will be glad to know that my wonderful husband, Richard, helped me figure out how to lock the camera in landscape like this so we can have a bigger space and the videos won't show up sideways. Woohoo! I'm so happy about that. Anyway, that is just one of the good things that happened today. I had a great meeting with the teacher I work with, and so that was great. Just trying to see if I can pull up. Just trying to see if I could pull up the crafting page and get it to show me live, but it's not. I'm not sure why it's not popping up. Thinking it would. Oh, there I am. Okay, so that may help me, but we'll see. Anyway, some of you guys may be seeing samples popping up in your news feed and stuff using these really fun images and greetings and stuff, and they are part of something that Stampin' Up! Is doing. And so I have on the screen for you the photo and the web address. So you can go, if you take a screenshot of this, you can go, plus the link is on, it's in a post or something on both my Love, Ink, and Paper page and the crafting group page. Anyway, you go here, you do the purchase information and whatever, it's $12, and all $12 goes towards COVID-19 support, okay, through the United Way and the World Health Organization. You get to choose which place gets your $12. And you know what? If philosophically you have issues with one or both or whatever, then no harm, no foul, don't buy it. But let me just show you a few of the pages of images. So there's this one, which I think is really funny. I love that. Let's just roll with it. I totally share my toilet paper with you. I saw a really cute sample with that one today that used a square of toilet paper instead of vellum. It was very cute, very cute. Anyway, I'm smiling under this face mask. I can't wait to social undistance with you. Just lots of great sentiments, some great imagery. Have another quarantini, just like a normal martini, but you drink it at home alone. And what a year this week has been. Hang in there. I miss you so much. Stay home, stay safe. Just lots of it. So I finished Netflix. I just thought that was funny. Not the series I've been watching on Netflix. I finished Netflix. Okay, anyway, just kind of funny. I changed out of my night pajamas into my day pajamas to send you this card. So as you can see, some are in black, some are in colors. We even have spellings for other places. Some places spell pajamas differently, so those are in there too. Anyway, so lots of really fun ones. Just breathe, but wear your mask. Okay. Some are designed very specifically for a specific punch, okay, which is kind of neat. Some are designed to for some of our dies, but could easily be just trimmed with scissors. Okay. Ones that you could use to thank our public servants. There's no place like home for now. Okay. So lots of things that you could use for the outside and also the inside. So some are designed to be used together. So there's that option as well. So anyway, lots of fun things. So let me just show you real quick the best way to use these. Okay. I printed mine on just plain old Whisper white cardstock. Now, when I went to cut this, I tried doing right at 4 1/4, so halfway. That wasn't necessarily the best thing to do, okay? So you can see that it's not half, okay? It's not. That's okay. You want to kind of get your biggest one centered and then go from there. But for most of them, the first cut is either down vertically down between 2 columns, or like in this case, that wouldn't work because there's 3 here and 2 here. So here, your first cut would be here. Okay, at roughly 5 1/2, but it's probably not going to be exact. Okay, so you're going to cut here where you have the widest place, and then you'd have this piece that you could cut this way and this piece that you could cut in half. Okay, so I recommend it. I think there's a lot of really fun things in there, and so hopefully it's all good. All right, so I'll put those over there. So I did add to the post today because you're going to want, I didn't happen to mention that you're going to want some copy paper. I quickly read through Jackie Bolhuis's directions and went, oh, I'm not going to do it that way. And then realized, oh, yes, you are, Leslie. There's a reason that smart lady Jackie told you to cut the way she did. But at any rate, so what we're going to do is you're going to need 4 pieces of copy paper that are sized the same as your designer series paper, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Okay, so, and you'll see why we're going to do that in a minute. Okay, but you're going to want 4 just lightweight. You just need it to stabilize them. Okay, so you're going to need 4 pieces of designer series paper. I've already chopped one up, and I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, how that works, and I have a cutting diagram for you as well. But I'm going to cut these with you in just a minute. But let me show you the cutting diagram. Okay, so there's the cutting diagram. Let me just peep up here and make sure it's where you can see it. Yep. Okay. So here's your 4 1/4. Here's your 4 inches. Sorry, 4 inches by 5 1/4. Okay. So your first cut is going to be here at 2 1/2. Okay. Ignore that for a second. 2 1/2 inches. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move that out of the way. I'll give it back to you. Just don't freak out. So you're going to take, and some of the trimmers can do more than 1 at a time. Some can't. I'm going to try 2. All right. So the first thing you're going to want to do is line. That's hitting the pole. Here, let me see if I can move that. this way a little bit. Maybe you can see that better. So here's my 2.5. So you're going to find 2.5, and you're going to go this long way, okay? And we're going to get that scoring blade out of the way. Get up there. Okay. All right. So there's your first cut. Okay, let me just move this over here for a second, and I'll line it right up on there for you and show you. Okay, so here was our first cut. It started out 4 by 5 1/4. We cut at 2.5. So now we have this skinny piece that's 1.5. Okay, and we have this wider piece that's 2.5. Yes? Okay. So now we're going to leave that sitting over there for a minute. We're going to leave that skinny piece, and we're going to cut this wider piece. Okay, you're going to measure up 3. Okay, don't worry about what this is. I'll tell you what this square becomes, but just go up 3 on this. Okay, like this. So we're going to take this, and we're going to go 3 inches. Right. Like that, and we're going to have these pieces. Okay, let's bring our cutting diagram back in. Thank you, Jackie, for making this. Okay, so now we have this piece up there, and we have this longer piece down here. Okay, so this piece, or set of pieces, I did 2 at a time, is 3 by 2.5. Okay, your 2.5 went this way from your first cut, yes, and then you measured up 3. So 3 by 2.5. I have another one, and then up here you have 2.5 by 2 1/4. This is a little bit shorter. It's not quite square. All right, got another one of those. Okay, so then we have this long, skinny 1.5 inch piece. We're going to go cut, what did she have me do? 2. So we're going to go cut, just ignore that for a minute. We're going to measure up and cut at 2 inches. All right, let me move that out of the way, bring the trimmer back, okay, and we're going to turn this sideways, and we're going to cut at 2. Okay. Scoring. There we go. That snapped in. Okay. Let's move those. I've got one more piece to do, but we'll whip through that in a second. All right. I'm just trying to go slow at first to just show you guys what we got. So now these are both 1.5 inches wide. Okay. And then we have our 2 inch piece. Okay. So it's 2 inches by 1.5 inches. Okay. And we have this taller piece that is 1.5 inches by 3 1/4. Okay. Because if you start out with 5 1/4 and you take off 2, you're going to be left with 3 1/4. Okay. All right. There we go. All right, so now we've got 3 of our 4 sets of papers. Okay, I'm going to do my last one. Remember, we're going to start with 2.5. Okay, like that. Okay, I know it makes the diagram backwards. Don't worry about that. Then we're going to cut at 3 here. Okay, there's our 3, and there's that one. And we're going to take this one and cut 2. Like that. Okay, now, if you like jigsaw puzzles, this is where the fun starts. So what you're going to want to do is bring in one of your copy papers, And now you get to play with your pieces, okay? So what you want to do is not have two of the same on a paper, okay? So I'm going to start with the sailboats over here, okay? And then I'm going to try, let's see. Oh, and you can check the back sides too. If you have double-sided paper, you might like the back sides better. I'm going to check and see if I like that. And then maybe our stripes. Okay. And then oh, this is kind of neat. The back side of these knots looks like an old newspaper or something. Okay, so all right. So there's one. Okay, then we're going to do another one. All right, this one I didn't use the boats before. And I don't think I want that one. I might decide that I want to use this very smallest one that way. We'll see. I don't want more stripes. Oh, but I could do that. Okay, oops, looks like it's could be upside down. We're gonna get, since we have that right there, we want to be going right side up. Okay, and now we need a big one, and let's put the knots in there. I like those knots. Okay, so now you have another one. I'm not sure if you are figuring out yet where we're going with this. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do the same thing on your last two. Okay, so oh, that green is nice. I kind of like that. And we'll put the blue stripes over here. Okay. And I don't want stripes next to that. So I'll go there. And I'll go here. And will this be too stripey? Yeah, I think it will be. But I like the green stripes. Oop, guess I'm using boats there. And oh, can't flip that one here. What if I do this and that? That works. But I might do that. Nope. Anyway, we'll get it figured out. Not sure how I want that. We'll figure, that might be my last one to play with. But anyway, you can see that you end up with 4. Okay, so what you're going to do then is just glue all those pieces down. Okay, so let's start with this one. And it won't really matter if they don't line up perfect. You do want to do the best that you can, but if they're not perfect, it's okay, because we're going to trim this down. All right, so let's... So start with one corner, okay, and try and get as square into that corner. Now remember, the copy paper is the same size as the designer series paper that you cut all apart. So you should be pretty flush, okay? You should be getting pretty close to each other, okay? And if this is going too fast, remember, you can watch the replay, okay? Just sit back, enjoy, and you can watch the replay later And then you can stop me and start me and whatever. If I'm going too fast, you can say, hey, stop, I need to catch up. And you can stop the video. Not right now, but later you can. Okay, so I'm going to just put those right on there. Okay. And this is from the Come Sail Away. It might be the actual designer series paper might be called Sailing Home. It's right here. Let's see, what is it? Oh, I was right the first time. Come Sail Away. So now you have this big of a piece, okay? And you just have your little bit of copy paper, so it won't add too much weight. That was part of my issue with Jackie's direction. She was saying, put it on cardstock, and I'm thinking that is going to make that card way, way too heavy. So anyway, I decided that was not what I was going to do. All right, so let's pop up in here, and we're going to trim this. But you don't want to take everything off of one side. We want our finished piece to be 3 3/4 by 5. But if you hack it all off of one side, it's not going to work, okay? So let's start with the one that we want to be 5 inches. So we have to take off 1/4 inch. But like I said, if we take that whole 1/4 inch off at one time, it's going to look funky, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off 1/8 from this end. Okay, so I went to the line halfway in between the 5 1/4 that our paper was and the 5 that I want it to be, and I picked that 1/8 inch line. And we're going to just turn it, and now we can go to the 5 inch line, and now we've taken 1/8 inch, just a teeny shave off the top and the bottom. Okay. Now we need to do the same thing to the side. Now this is 4, but we need it to be 3 3/4. So I'm going to just scoot over 1/8 inch and take off a little bit over here. Zoop. Just that little bit. Okay. And then we're going to take off the rest on this side. So now I can go to my 3 3/4. Okay, just like that. Okay, all right, now we have that. Looks really good. I chose all balmy blue bases and Night of Navy layers. You would have gone to the back of your designer series paper or played around with your pieces of designer series paper and chosen your colors based on what you want. Okay, so let's take a base, and I'm just going to very carefully move these other pieces off to the side. And we're going to fold this. Did you just see me fold that up in the air? Do you know why I could do that? Because it was already scored. If it's not already scored, don't be trying to fold it up in the air. Remember, we've talked about that. All right. Then we're going to add our designer series paper layer. Doesn't that look good? Night of Navy has been my favorite color. It's another one that's been around the whole time I've been a part of Stampin' Up, which we're getting 2002, 18 years. In September will be 18 years. So that's pretty amazing. Especially for somebody who was not going to do a business. I only signed up because Lisa said I could get everything I wanted at a discount. I said, oh, all right, I can do that. And then I got my first, I happened to do a couple of workshops. She's like, well, you could do a couple. And I went, yeah, okay, that'll give me enough spending money, and that'll be good. And I got my first, back then they cut checks. I got my first volume rebate check in the mail. And I went, Richard, look, they sent me money. I can make money doing this. And I just never looked back. And I just kept sharing what I love to do with people who want to learn it. And life is good. So there's that. Now let's whip through. This one looks good. And I may be able to trim it. I'm okay with that. It's not quite navy. I know there was a color that, but that's not what I meant. Anyway, let me grab a punch. I might have to do a punch switcheroo because my tailored tag punch is holding my camera post there so that it doesn't tip over. So let's put something else back there, and now we can use we'll use that one. Okay. So I'm going to have to do a little trimming to get at that with my punch. Okay. So we're going to just sneak this. And if you ever cut one of these too small, remember the Post-it note trick. Okay. Let's see how that works. Oh yeah, that's going to work. Oh, here, let's get that out of the way. Getting a little cluttered here. Anybody had to do like Zoom birthdays or anything like that with your kids or your families? I'm gonna, I stuck that one down before I took my chunk out. You know me, nobody's gonna see that. All right, let's get the snips. For this particular punch, it works best if you take those little nubs off the end. Otherwise, they stick out where you don't want them to. When you go to use that trick of stretching it out. All right. There's that. There's that. So we'll just see, and if you just barely tack it down, you can move it. It becomes sort of temporary. Okay. That looks pretty good. All right, let's get some dimensionals. And we have a really nice male birthday card, a nice masculine one. My hands are so dry that the dimensional backings are like staticking to me. I can't get them off. So let's see what other good things happened today. Oh, Richard and I went for a nice walk at lunchtime, and that was good. So you're going to want to kind of play around with where you decide you want it. it kind of is nice to disguise some of that. And you might want, you know, ribbon under that tucks under this layer here, or, you know, it's your card. You can dress it up or not, as the case may be. So there's one. Remember, you have 3 more sets of designer series paper that you can use. Okay, so we're gonna just put another one together real quick. Okay. And remember, you want to try and get right into the corner and keep it as along the edge as you can. Okay. And then you just put them all in place like a jigsaw puzzle. Stephen would not be impressed with this kind of a jigsaw puzzle. My son Stephen is a major puzzle doer. He does very hard puzzles, and he will not even do a puzzle if it doesn't have at least 1,000 pieces. He's like, not even worth my time. It's not a challenge. The pieces are too big. Whatever. He just, yeah. So, he's pretty funny. You guys may have seen some things that are the post I put on my personal page today had a picture of Forsythia and the memory that one of my favorite things was one of his little misspeaks. I'm sure if you're a parent, you've heard kids, you know, try and when they're just learning new words or whatever, they try and say something and they can't quite manage it. Well, Forsythia with a TH in the middle was one that he had a really hard time with, and he called it Forsythia with a P. And I loved that. It was one of the things that when he kind of outgrew that and learned how to say it without the misspeak, I was kind of sad, actually. I was like, oh, no more of that. So I'm not going to trim these ones down just now, but I am going to get them all put together so that they, the pieces don't fly all over the table. But I'm probably not going to finish all of these because I'm hearing the Jeopardy music in the living room, which means we've already been at this for a half an hour. And while I love to give you a fun place to come and spend a little time and have fun, I also don't want to monopolize your evening to the point where you go, oh my gosh, is she ever going to shut up? That would not make me happy. So we will finish up these couple of things, and if you have questions or something, you can always pop them in the comments. Okay, I love seeing the cards that you're making, so if you're making cards or something, show them to me. I miss show and tell. A lot of you guys used to bring cards to the studio when you came for Fun Friday or when you came to class or something and showed me what you'd been working on, and I love that. I love seeing what you're working on and how you're using things and all that good kind of stuff. So please put them in the comments. Show them off to me. I'm anxious to see them. Okay. Let's see. Anything else big and exciting? You may have gotten an email. If you're on my email list today, you got an email about that Spread Sunshine. That's what that PDF download is called. Now, just know that it's a PDF download. Okay, it's not a stamp set. It's not, so you're not gonna physically get something. They're gonna make sure they have your email address, and you are going to get an email with the PDF, okay, and then you can print the PDF. Now there is some disclaimers. You don't get to change the size. You can't go in and make it poster size or something, and so you only get to use it as they created it, okay? And the other thing is, please don't share it. I'm not sharing it because it's a fundraiser. So please purchase yours, and it's not for sharing. It's fine to share things like a package of designer series paper or something with a buddy of yours, but not this, okay? This you get to have your very own, and we're not going to share it. So these will go together, and they all look, oops, remember? Oh, here, we'll do that because I haven't trimmed it. But that's what it will look like with the border, okay? They're going to all look really good, I think. But you see where it's not perfect, so that's why we trim it, okay? That's why we trim it, right? Here. Scoot you over. And scooch you over. Oh, I'm so happy that you guys aren't going to have to be upside down or sideways or any of that sort of thing. Very happy about that. So there. And then I'll put greetings on those and put them on the bases, and they're going to be great. Okay. So I will finish these up and post pictures in the group. Probably not till tomorrow, but I will take pictures and finish them up. Remember, tomorrow is the 30th, so it is the last day tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna set it at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That gives me time to finalize what I need to do without running too late and running into computer issues and ordering system issues and whatever. Okay, so we're going to say 5 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, and then I will finalize my part of the order, which will make this null and void. Okay, you won't get to use that code anymore. I am going to set up a new one for May. So that'll be fun. The other thing is, I did share on, sorry, that was noisy. I did share on the page that Stampin' Up! Is doing a virtual workshop tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And if I will be happy to share the link with you if you would like to try to go in and see what that's like. I am going to be there because I want to see how it's done, because it's something I've been thinking about. Doing my workshops like this, not only for when now when we can't manage to get together, but also for the future, because life gets busy. We've all gotten really, really busy, and back when I first started, the only way we did the business really was in-home workshops. And I did a lot of them, and I met a lot of new people that way. This is, so this time of, during the pandemic, has taught me that I might be able to do this as a workshop. I could post the Stampin' Up! Videos and post pictures, but then I would go live and actually demonstrate the projects. And again, you could be there live, or you could watch the video later. Then I would set up a host code for your own personal workshop, and then you would get the hostess benefits. So it would be a great way to earn free product. And I want to learn this ahead of the new catalog, because there are some of you that might want to do an online workshop and gather the host goodies so that you can get some of the new product out of the new catalog. Okay, so anyway, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 9 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time, Stampin' Up! Is going to do a virtual, in a Facebook group, workshop. So if you want to be a part of that, let me know. I'd be happy to send you the link to the group so you can get in there. And then when you are in there tomorrow night, give me a quick, hey, Leslie, tag me and let me know that you're there. And I just might have a little special gifty. Let's just say I went through my embellishments drawer at the studio yesterday and I found some things that are retiring. So they could find their way into envelopes to friends. So I'm just saying, okay? All right. Thanks so much for hanging with me, and I will see you on Friday at 5. Bye.